Next up, we have Erin Collins. Erin Collins is the Training Manager for Public Training, having joined LSV in 2015. Before devoting her work full-time to LSV, Erin worked in a range of training roles for TAFE, private and non-profit organisations, including coordinating national training, teaching and leading teams. Erin has supported LSV in innovative and efficient strategies to ensure LSV can support the aquatic industry in best practice training, giving consideration to a flexible and innovative approach to achieving practical skills and knowledge. Projects for LSV include the implementation of blended models of training delivery, online grading applications, and new course development.
Hi Victoria, my name's Erin Collins. I'm the Public Training Manager for Lifesaving Victoria. I'm excited today to join everyone so that we can talk about some of the updates, changes and improvements that we've released across public training, and also reflect on some of the things we've done in the past and how we can bring all of those pieces together. The first thing we're going to talk about today is a new approach to delivery. Some of the things that we've been doing over the last 12 months, and also some of the things you might have seen in the past that essentially we've released a secondary iteration of. The first thing that we talk about here today is flexible blended delivery courses. Now, most people across the state in aquatics would have done one of our blended courses, whether that be Provide First Aid, Provide CPR, or one of our Pool Lifeguard courses. But over time, what we've done is increased that delivery across all of our courses. And we're really excited to talk about a new release that we're about to announce, which is our Swim Teacher blended delivery course. Essentially, that course is a one-day course now with online learning, and that just allows the industry to attend a course with a really nice flexible approach around their work environment, something that we've had the industry feedback to us as a much better option for them to be able to attend training. We recognise that there is quite a large amount of training that needs to be refreshed each year. So being able to make sure that that's a feasible opportunity for everyone to do, make sure that everyone actually attends the training that they need. That's really key to making sure that pools are safe. If we can make sure it's feasible, flexible, fair, reasonable, and that it reaches every corner of the state, it's certainly going to make everyone's life a lot easier. Now, based on all of the positive feedback we got on our first releases, Provide First Aid, Pool Lifeguard, we can now see that rolling out across our whole suite. What you're looking at here is our Swim Teacher, our Pool Lifeguard, our Provide First Aid, and really exciting for everyone who's done an aquatic technical operator in the past or hasn't been able to because it's been quite a long course. We can now do the aquatic technical operator in 2 days with online learning, and we'll be releasing a pool water testing course with 1 day with online learning. That means that essentially we can impart the knowledge at a self-paced approach and allow people to go in and do that course face-to-face with a trainer and ask questions that they need to after they've done that learning. Now, those two last options, aquatic technical operator and pool water testing, are still in pending stage, but they're very close to release. So really excited to announce those and make sure you keep an eye out for them. While we talk about flexible approach, we can focus a little bit on COVID-19. Some of the things that we've developed to make sure there's an opportunity while everyone's at home to continue to train and continue to stay current. That's really key at the moment as we prepare to open pools. Now, Provide First Aid and Provide CPR were something that we recognised that we could individualise and allow people to do from their lounge rooms. And really, really well done to those people across the state who've already done it. We've had over 1,000 people participate in these courses. They essentially filmed themselves, did some online learning at home, and then submitted their videos. Our trainers have been crazily busy grading all of those videos from LSV and making sure that everybody stays current in their skills. We still continue to have those available, and the really great thing is because we've had such positive feedback from everywhere that's received this course, whether it be the aquatics industry or other emergency services, we're essentially going to look at engaging this as a long-term product at Lifesaving Victoria. So do keep an eye out. If you haven't updated your first aid and CPR because you think there's not an opportunity to do so, we do have online remote options available, and that's going to be great for regional communities as well. So when we're talking about waiting for a course in regional communities that might not happen for another month, another 2 months, we've actually got these opportunities to do that right now. And that's what we're talking about when we say provide first aid at home and provide CPR at home. They are accredited, you do get your certificates, and all of the skills and knowledge that you would get on a face-to-face course are embedded into that course. So Definitely engage in that. And if you have any questions, we can certainly answer anything that you have. We've had so many people go through it. Staying online, we're talking about online professional development. Not everything that we deliver out of LSV public training is accredited. We also have non-accredited courses, and what this means is keeping your skills and knowledge current, whether that be soft skills training, whether that be making sure that your accredited training also remains current, and we're going to keep this suite of courses coming out. So if you haven't had a go at one of these online courses that we've released, jump in and have a look. We've got cultural competency online learning. We've got the Royal Lifesaving Society of Australia, who released the conflict management online learning that we've had amazing feedback on. We've got the LSV YouTube channel if you want to see how to do a spinal, if you want to see how to do a contact toe. All of those videos that we do in the training are available on our YouTube channel. Have a look, practice your skills and knowledge, do it safely. If you want to wait until a course, that's fine, but definitely have a look and just refresh your knowledge of what the steps are in those processes. And then really, really exciting, we've got in-service training. Now, in-service training is something we've had around for a little while now in terms of face-to-face delivery directly from Lifesaving Victoria. But now we recognise that a lot of pools have asked for more flexible approaches to this, and with all of the iterations we've had in online spaces, we're now looking at how can we take the knowledge evidence from in-service training and put that into an online course. That'll make 2 face-to-face sessions and 2 online sessions, and much more feasible for the industry. Labour-wise, it's a lot easier to make sure all of your guards have access without having to get everyone in the one space at the same time. That's going to be available both for pool lifeguards and for swim teachers. We've got a swim teacher face-to-face in-service suite, but this will bring together the online and the face-to-face component, and we're looking at releasing that later next year. Now, all of those things very much focus on online. That doesn't mean we don't focus on practical face-to-face skills, but we do want to make sure that we're keeping everything in the one place to make it really simple. And that's really key to what we do at Lifesaving Victoria. We want to make sure the skills and knowledge are available, but we also want to make sure it's feasible, accessible, and easy to use. So this is what we talk about when we talk about some of our online things. All of the course information that you have is in your own online portal. You use your own username, your own password. You've probably seen it before. We have changed it, we have updated it, we have improved it, and we really do welcome the feedback that everyone's provided across the state. Everything we do is in response to the wants and needs of you out there. The online booking process, the payment and the enrolment process, we simplified it, we put it online, we kept your details, so if you've trained with us before, everything's there for you. Online grading. We heard you when you said we need certificates faster, and even during COVID-19, we've maintained that online certificate issuance in anywhere between 1 and 3 working days, which is a huge improvement on what we did in the past, and we continue to improve that process as we've released new portals to make sure that our grading is accessible for regional and for metro communities, and making sure that we're actually getting the information to the facilities when they need it. Online certificates, because our certs are online now, we are actually now able to issue those to employers. So we've built all of that into our all of our codes of practice and our terms and conditions, that if you book a private course with Lifesaving Victoria Public Training, we'll send the results summary to employers and we'll send copies of the certificates. Makes it much easier for aquatic facilities to access the information that they need to make sure that their pools and everyone who's working at those pools has the qualifications on site before they attend a shift. Keeping that focus on simplicity, accessibility, and everything in one place, let's talk about all the training that a pool lifeguard would need. If it's in the GSPO, our goal is that we have it at Lifesaving Victoria. We've got the pool lifeguard qualification, we've got in-service training, we're going to make that flexible, we're going to make it more accessible to regional communities. We've got provide first aid, we've got it remote, we've got it face-to-face, we've got it blended, we've got the online cultural competency. So if you have had a look online recently, we've actually released cultural competency training to aquatic facilities. If you get 75% of your staff trained in that, you'd be considered culturally qualified, and something that you'd really want to make sure people are aware of so that they know your facility is something that welcomes everybody. Royal Lifesaving Society Conflict Management, I touched on that already, one of our online PD courses, and this grid is going to get bigger and bigger as we add more and more PD into that space. Let's talk swim teachers. You can see there's a heap more there for you. So the LSV swim teacher qualification was released last year. We've now released the swim teacher blended course, making that, again, more flexible, more accessible. Teacher of infant and toddler, we released that one in 2020. That's our first of 2 extension courses. Teacher of People with a Disability is coming very, very soon. And thank you to all of the facilities, stakeholders, specialists across the state who've consulted on some of these products to make sure that what we're delivering is exactly what the industry needs and exactly what the qualification should be. In-service training I've touched on, Royal Life Saving Society conflict management I've touched on, and it's about the bridge between some of these things as well. If you're a lifeguard and a swim teacher, we've got shared professional development and shared qualifications. The LSV Swim Teacher Handbook and Licence. If you already hold a swim teacher qualification, that's okay. You don't need to have Life Saving Victoria's qualification. You can come to us with any qualification that meets the national requirements, and as long as you're meeting your PD requirements and your delivery requirements, we can issue your licence. We're talking about the bridging course when I talk about bringing pool lifeguards and swim teachers together and making sure that all of the qualification requirements in the GSPO are met. There is actually a bridging course that's coming that will bridge swim teachers to pool lifeguards, and that'll essentially allow your program supervisors to make sure they have the qualifications that they need. And really key, CPR. So we do have the accredited CPR qualification at Life Saving Victoria for swim teachers, and if you do your licence with LSV, you'll actually get that free of charge. Now, we've talked about lifeguards, we've talked about swim teachers. Now let's talk about aquatic technical operators. We need to make sure that the qualifications are accessible to everybody. I've talked about the fact that we're going to be releasing a much more flexible approach to this course, and we've done so in consultation with Department of Health and Human Services. We're also incorporating a lot of extra knowledge into this space in the environmental health officers. So essentially, you're going to get additional knowledge on top of your ATO course in a more flexible and fast approach. And we're going to have a shorter course available for those who just want to learn about pool water testing. This is just an example of some of the online learning that we have, making sure that it's interactive, engaging, and self-paced so that you can make sure you're absorbing some of that more technical knowledge that we have. Now, I keep talking about simplicity and accessibility. Now I want to make sure that it's feasible for us to reach you. When we talk about regional focus, we're talking about some of the opportunities we have to empower the industry to deliver their own training, but also to engage with some of our partner providers as well. So if you're in regional Victoria, you may not be aware, but we've actually increased our delivery to every corner of the state. We now deliver to 450 facilities across the state to train. That's CPR, first aid, aquatic safety. And those facilities allow us to give you guys access to the training that you need. Now, we don't do that alone. We have 22 accredited organisations who deliver training. We also have almost 200 non-accredited providers. If you recognise that there's someone at your facility who's a champion, a mentor to other lifeguards, a mentor to other swim teachers, recognise them and have a look at some of the on behalf of programs that we have. If you can be a facility champion, you might have a swim teacher qualification, an education qualification, and you're passionate about aquatics. It's about imparting some of that knowledge. We have the resources, we have all of the primary information to be able to empower the industry to deliver their own training. It does mean you need to apply, and you do have the opportunity to deliver accredited as well, if you meet the requirements. And I think it's important that you recognise that we already have 22 providers out there. We have providers in Wellington Shire, Warrnambool. We have providers in Mildura at the moment. So we have worked in this space just to make sure that everyone's got what they need when they need it, and we're continuing to upskill those providers to more and more courses so that it becomes that large model that I talked about where everything is available in one place. When we're talking about locating courses, sometimes in the past you haven't been able to locate our provider courses, and we've heard you. Thank you for letting us know. So what we've done is we've spoken to our providers, and where they're delivering to the public, many of our providers have actually engaged in public courses on our portal. So you'll start to see delivered by another organisation, and that will allow you to see courses out into those regional areas that are delivered by some of our partners. Keep an eye out for those, start to engage with them, and that way you can just go to the one place to find training. If you have anything that you want to tell us, we're really open to feedback and consultation to make sure that what we're providing is what you need and what your staff are finding essentially useful to their day-to-day. So get in touch with us if you have anything that you want to add to our suite. We're always developing and growing new products, but we really do love to hear from you. So from Life Saving Victoria Public Training, I want to thank you very much for your time, and we look forward to seeing you soon.